Aviation in India refers to the aviation industry of India. It can broadly be divided into military and civil aviation. According to the International Air Transport Association, India is the fastest-growing aviation market. Bangalore is the aviation manufacturing hub in India and constitutes of about 65% of the share of manufacturing. The Government of India announced its draft National Civil Aviation Policy on the 30th of October 2015. History. Civil aviation in India traces back to the 18th of February 1911, when the first commercial civil aviation flight took off from Allahabad for Naini over a distance of 6 miles. During the Allahabad exhibition, Henri Pequet, a French aviator, carried 6,500 pieces of mail on a Humber summer biplane from the exhibition to the receiving office at Allahabad, marking the world's first official air mail service. Pre-independence in December 1912, the first domestic air route between Karachi and Delhi was opened by Indian Air Services. Tata Sons Limited, the first Indian airline, started a regular air mail service between Karachi and Madras 3 years later without any backing from the Indian government. On the 15th of October 1932, J.R.D. Tata flew a consignment of mail from Karachi to Juhu Airport. His airline later became Air India. Post-independence. In 1948, the Government of India and Air India set up a joint sector company, Air India International, to further strengthen the aviation industry of India. As part of nationalization in 1953, Indian Airlines brought the domestic civil aviation sector under the purview of the Indian government. Through the mid-1990s, government-owned airlines dominated the Indian aviation industry. Open Sky Policy. When government adopted the Open Sky Policy in 1990, along with other liberalization policy, industry underwent a rapid transformation following deregulation in 1994. Hijackings. The terrorist hijackings of 1971. Indian Airlines hijacking. Indian Airlines Flight 427 and Indian Airlines Flight 814 pointed out security loopholes and led to demand for action to correct the loopholes. Operation Rahat. Operation Rahat was an operation of the Indian Armed Forces to evacuate Indian citizens and other foreign nationals from Yemen. During the 2015 military intervention by Saudi Arabia and its allies in the country during the Yemeni crisis, the evacuation by sea was started on 1 April 2015 from Aden port. The air evacuation was started by the Indian Air Force and Air India on 3 April 2015 from Sana'a. More than 4,640 Indian citizens in Yemen were evacuated, along with 960 foreign nationals of 41 countries. The air evacuation ended on 9 April 2015, while the evacuation by sea ended on 11 April 2015. Military aviation in India. The Indian Air Force, Indian Naval Air Arm and Army Aviation Corps are the air arms of the Indian Armed Forces. The Indian Air Force is the world's fourth largest air force with primary responsibility for securing Indian airspace and to conduct aerial warfare during a conflict. It was officially established on 8 October 1932 as an auxiliary air force of the British Empire, and the prefix Royal was added in 1945 in recognition of its services during World War II. Following the Indian Independence Act 1947, the new states of India and Pakistan became independent from the United Kingdom. The Royal Indian Air Force served the Dominion of India, with the prefix being dropped when India became a republic in 1950. Since independence, The IAF has been involved in 4 wars with neighboring Pakistan and 1 with the People's Republic of China. Other major operations undertaken by the IAF include Operation Vijay, Operation Meghdoot, Operation Cactus and Operation Pumalai. Apart from conflicts in the subcontinent, the IAF has been an active participant in United Nations peacekeeping missions. The President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, serves as the ex officio Commander-in-Chief of the IAF. The Chief of Air Staff, an Air Chief Marshal, is a 4-star commander and commands the Air Force. There is never more than 1 serving ACM in the IAF at any given time. The rank of Marshal of the Air Force has been conferred once, to Arjun Singh, by the President of India on the 26th of January 2002, and Singh became the first 5-star rank-holding officer of the IAF and serves as its ceremonial chief. In its publication The Military Balance 2010, the International Institute for Strategic Studies estimated that the Indian Air Force has a strength of 127,000 active personnel. However, various reliable sources provided notably divergent estimates of its strength over the years. Flight Global estimates there to be around 1,820 aircraft in service with the IAF, 905 combat planes, 595 fighters and 310 attackers. Market size. India is the 9th largest civil aviation market in the world, having a potential of becoming 3rd largest aviation market by 2020. It recorded an air traffic of 163 million passengers in 2013, estimated to be 60 million international passengers by 2017. The market is also estimated to have 800 aircraft by 2020. In 2015, Boeing projected India's demand for aircraft to touch 1,740, valued at $240 billion, over the next 20 years in India. This would account for 4.3% of global volumes. According to Airbus, India will be one of the top 3 aviation markets globally in the next 20 years. Airbus is expecting an annual growth rate of over 11% for the domestic market in India over the next 10 years, while the combined growth rate for domestic and international routes would also be more than 10%. Civilian regulation. Ministry of Civil Aviation is responsible for civilian aviation and Ministry of Defence is responsible for the Indian Air Force. Aviation policy. The Government of India announced its draft National Civil Aviation Policy on the 30th of October 2015, seeking suggestions for the same. This policy inter alia focuses on expanding the open sky agreements and create a regional connectivity fund. The government is planning to develop a sustainable air network in over 400 Tier 2 cities across India with an estimated expenditure of 50 crore rupees. The Government of India released the National Civil Aviation Policy on the 15th of June 2016. The NCAP 2016 covers the broad policy areas, such as regional connectivity, safety, air transport operations, 5/20ths requirement for international operations, bilateral traffic rights, fiscal support, maintenance, repair and overhaul, air cargo, aeronautical, make in India. The broad key features of the NCAP are VGF for operation under Regional Connectivity Scheme, revival of unserved or underserved routes under RCS, introduction of a new category, scheduled commuter operator, under commercial air transport operations, rationalization of Category I routes under route dispersal guidelines on the basis of criteria given in NCAP 2016, the requirement of 5 years and 20 aircrafts for international operation has been modified to 0 years and 20 aircraft to 20% of the total capacity, whichever is higher for domestic operations. Liberalization of domestic code share points in India within the framework of ASHA. Ministry of Civil Aviation. The Ministry of Civil Aviation of Government of India is the nodal ministry responsible for the formulation of national policies and programs for development and regulation of civilian aviation, and for devising and implementing schemes for the orderly growth and expansion of civilian air transport. Its functions also extend to overseeing airport facilities, air traffic services and carriage of passengers and goods by air. The ministry also administers implementation of the 1934 Aircraft Act and is administratively responsible for the Commission of Railways Safety, DGCA. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation is the Indian governmental regulatory body for civil aviation under the Ministry of Civil Aviation. This directorate investigates aviation accidents and incidents. It is headquartered along Sri Aurobindo Marg, opposite Safdar-Jung Airport, in New Delhi. The Government of India is planning to replace the organization with a civil aviation authority, modeled on the lines of the American Federal Aviation Administration. Airports Authority of India AAI's implementation of automatic dependence surveillance system using indigenous technology at Kolkata and Chennai air traffic control centers made India the first country to use this technology in the Southeast Asian region, thus enabling air traffic control over oceanic areas using a satellite mode of communication. Performance-based navigation procedures have already been implemented at Mumbai, Delhi and Ahmedabad airports, and are likely to be implemented at other airports in a phased manner. AAI is implementing the Gagan project in technological collaboration with the Indian Space Research Organisation, where the satellite-based system will be used for navigation. The navigation signals thus received from the GPS will be augmented to meet the navigational requirements of aircraft. The first phase of the technology's demonstration system was completed in February 2008. AAI has 4 training establishments: the Civil Aviation Training College at Allahabad, the National Institute of Aviation Management and Research at Delhi, and the Fire Training Centers at Delhi and Kolkata. An aerodrome visual simulator has been provided at CATC, and non-radar procedural ATC simulator equipment is being supplied to CATC Allahabad and Hyderabad Airport. AAI has a dedicated flight inspection unit with a fleet of 3 aircraft fitted with flight inspection systems to inspect instrument landing systems up to Cat 3, VORs, DMEs, and DBs, VGSI and radar, in addition to in-house flight calibration of its navigational aids. AAI undertakes flight calibration of navigational aids for the Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, Indian Coast Guard and other private airfields in the country. AAI has entered into joint ventures at the Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore and Nagpur airports to upgrade these airports. Partnerships. India's aviation regulator, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, and United States Technical Development Agency signed the grant agreement for India Aviation Safety Technical Assistance Phase 2 on the 9th of February, 2016. Under the agreement, USDDA will partially fund improving systems at the DGCA, while USDDA's assistance will be of $808,327. Contractor firm The Wix Group would share the cost of assistance at $75,000. Airlines. There are a total of 22 airlines which are operational in India as of 2015. PSU. The PSU in aviation sector are Air India and Pooran Hans. Listed companies in India's aviation sector are SpiceJet, Indigo Airlines and Jet Airways. Major private players are Go Air, Air Asia, and Vistara. Airports. The country currently has 33 non-operational airports, according to the Airports Authority of India. Indira Gandhi International Airport. Indira Gandhi International Airport serves as the primary civilian aviation hub for the National Capital Region of Delhi, India. The airport, spread over an area of 5,106 acres, is situated in Palam, 15 kilometers southwest of the New Delhi railway station and 16 kilometers from New Delhi city centre. Named after Indira Gandhi, a former Prime Minister of India, it is the busiest airport in the country in terms of passenger traffic and international traffic. Busiest airport in India since 2009. It is the second busiest airport in the country in terms of cargo traffic after Mumbai. With the commencement of operations at Terminal 3 in 2010, it became India's and South Asia's largest aviation hub, with a current capacity of handling more than 40 million passengers. The planned expansion program will increase the airport's capacity to handle 100 million passengers by 2030. In 2014, the airport handled a total of 39.752 million passengers, registering a 8.4% growth in traffic over the previous year and became the 12th busiest airports in Asia. As of 2015, the airport currently is the 26th busiest airport in the world by passenger traffic. Establishments. The Gujarat government is planning to set up India's first civil aviation park in the state. The aviation park will have facilities such as airstrips, training school, helipad and a flight simulator. The park will provide a platform for human resources and manufacturing activities related to the industry. It will be a one-stop destination for aerospace training, research and manufacturing. Social and environmental responsibility. Travel by air has significant environmental impacts. Construction of new airports may require land acquisition, and can be made in controversies, as happened in the case of the Iran-Mila International Airport. The world's first airport fully powered by solar energy is at Kochi.